Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cody, and if you're new here, well, this is my channel. I do reviews on outdoor stuff, outdoor related things, and today, if you can't tell by the Christmas tree behind me here, it is Christmas time. And so what a better time, I guess, than now to go over some really good Christmas gift ideas for the camper, outdoor enthusiast in your life. And the first thing that I'm gonna start out with is just something to kind of get somebody interested in being in the outdoors more often. And for me, that would be a hammock. This is an Eno. It's probably one of the most popular brands out there when it comes to hammocks. And they make them in like a single nest and a double nest to give you technically enough space for two people, but I have a double nest just because I like a little bit bigger hammock myself, and just give myself a little bit more space. But this is something that I think that if you have somebody who's interested in like doing more outdoor things, but they don't know where to start, or you don't know what to get them, I think a hammock is a really good thing to give them, to kind of get them to go outside. When I first got my hammock, first thing I wanted to do was like, all right, cool, where can I take this? Where can I go? So it immediately went in my vehicle and went with me everywhere. And to this day, this thing still lives in my vehicle. I had to pull it out just for this video, but it has seen a lot of miles, a lot of trips, a lot of campfires, just because wherever I go and we're camping or whatever, I'm pretty much always having a hammock there, unless it's pouring down rain or whatnot. My hammock's always up just to relax, an additional spot outside of just the tent to hang out or whatever. So that brings me to the next thing that's going to be on my list, and this one is a sleeping pad. Now the one that I have is from REI. It has a certain like R value, so it's an insulated sleeping pad, just because I like to also do camping in the fall and wintertime when it's cold. I've been camping 14 degrees. I've been camping single digits before, so insulated sleeping bag and sleeping pad, excuse me, is a very good thing to get for someone in your life who goes outdoors and camping a lot, especially. So the only thing you need to be aware of is they come in different shapes and different sizes. Kind of find out about the person that you're buying it for, what style sleeping bag they have. That'll help you kind of figure out the shape that you want. If they're tall, like this one's an extra long, to give you a little bit more height for the taller person. Shorter person, they make shorts, medium longs, they make, you know, all sort of things. So just do your due diligence before you just go out and buy one, to figure out what's going to suit the person you're buying for the most. Of course, I'm assuming you already do that, so good for you. I'm moving right along. The next thing also has to do with comfort, and for me, one of the biggest comforts of camping is a campfire. So you need something to sit in around the campfire, and that's why the next thing on my list is going to be a camping chair. Now this is the one that I have. It's just a small little camping chair, and as you can see, I'm holding it with one hand. It is super lightweight. It is small and compact. It comes with its own little case. I literally take this thing, I've got two of them, so I have one in my truck usually, and the other one's with the rest of my gear. So whenever I go camping, I can bring one. My kids can sit in it, my wife can sit in it, whatever. Or if we have a friend who forgot theirs, hey, I've got a spare, here we go. This was pretty cheap. I got this off of Amazon. The brand on this one is Sun Year, and I've compared it. Both of my brother-in-laws have much more expensive branded ones that they picked up from REI, and I've compared them. They're all very similar in comfort. So if you don't feel like spending a lot of money, you're on a budget, check out Amazon. There's some really good diamonds in the rough, and this was one of those diamonds in the rough that I happened to find. Again, the brand is Sun Year. Really good quality chair. It's lasted me, that's literally sat outside in the rain all night one night. It's got, you know, I only see one hole right now from ashes. So of course that can happen in any seat, but I mean, I've had it on probably 15 or 20 camping trips, and all it has is one hole in it. That's not bad in my opinion. So comfort, sleeping pad, chair. Next thing we're going to get into is a cook set. Now I have just kind of a personal 2-person Stanley cook set that I picked up And inside there are 2 little cups that you can either cook in, pour your stuff out into, or just sip out of. Like if you make some dehydrated food with your water, pour it in there, and you have a bowl or whatever to sit in. A personal camp cook stove set and like a burner would be a really good gift for anybody looking to go a little bit further into the outdoors if you want to do some more solo trips, or if you know a friend or a child even that you have that's like, hey mom, dad, I want to go out and do some stuff on my own, but I don't know what to take. There you go. This Stanley little 2-person, well, it's not 2-person, oh, maybe it is 2-person, I don't know what the official one of this one is, but it has these little markings on the back for measurements and stuff. So as you're cooking food, water, boiling water, really, you know how much to pour in so that you can make whatever it is that you're going to make. Hot chocolate, coffee, you can boil your water in here, pour it over, you're good to go. Okay, next item on the list after that is if you're going to do any trips into the woods, speaking of a fire, which we talked about earlier, you're gonna need either a hatchet, a saw, something to help you harvest firewood. And so here I have just this very cheap one that I picked up at Walmart. I forgot my regular one when I went camping once, so my wife and I ran to Walmart real quick to get something just so we'd be able to cut the firewood into smaller pieces, get some like starter wood out of the bigger chunks that we had. So if you want something small and lightweight, you can go with something like this. Yes, you can go to Walmart, but let me tell you, this thing is not the greatest. There's not a lot of heft to this, so the weight of it just doesn't break through the wood as well as I would like for it to. So with that being said, I have my regular one that I take with me. It's a little bit bigger and definitely a lot heftier. As you can see, I'm having to hold it here so that it doesn't fall over, whereas the other one I could hold over here and not really dip, but this thing's got some heft to it. It's got a cool design here and helping to split the logs when you cut them. Extremely sharp right out of the box. So one of the things that I actually plan on making next year is a sheath to go over it, just kind of protect that edge and protect my fingers more than anything. But it's a really solid axe. It's a Woox, W-O-X, I guess is how you pronounce that, axe. Extremely solid axe. I've only taken this one 5 or 6 trips since I've had it, but I absolutely love it for chopping wood. I've used it to chop wood at my parents' house when I have to go get some firewood or whatever. So hatchet, axe, or even a saw if you want to do a hand saw as well is a good option for that. Next thing I'm going to bring up on the list is something that I wish I had had once. My wife and I went camping, got into the single digits, and so she wanted to charge her phone, and so she went into the car, and long story short, she ended up draining the car battery. And again, like I said, it was single digits, middle of a campsite. Luckily, there was a ranger going by, and he had an emergency jump starter that he used. So something that we went and picked up is an emergency jump starter. There's all sorts of different ones you can get, different sizes, different capacities, whatever, but it's something good to have, especially if you're going on a trip by yourself. You always want to have a backup. So if your battery dies, you're going to want to have a way to start it, especially if you're out in the wilderness by yourself on a backcountry trip, overlanding, whatever it may be. An emergency jump starter is a great thing to get someone. Feeding right off of that, I say hand in hand. This next item may probably come way up on the list, but I have it down on the list as I do. But it is a first aid kit. It is extremely important that you have a first aid kit. You never know what you're going to get into. You can be chopping wood, you can miss, slice your leg open. I'm being totally dramatic here, but I'm just trying to emphasize the point that it's always good to have a first aid kit. And once you have a first aid kit, familiarize yourself with it. Know how to use the things that are in it. Everybody's like, oh, cool, I've got this first aid kit, but I don't know how to do this wrap. And I need to now that somebody's arm or finger or whatever is bleeding from where they've cut themselves pretty deeply or whatever, and they don't know how to use it. So don't just get a first aid kit. Get a first aid kit and then teach the person or tell the person that you're giving the first aid kit to learn how to use what's in it. So that's something very important to me. My wife, especially as we travel with 2 toddlers when we go camping, it's extremely important for us to have a first aid kit, because with kids, you never know what's going to happen. Most likely, it's just going to be a fall and they scrape their knee. Okay, great. You've got some alcohol pads, some gauze, and some Band-Aids, and you're good to go. But I would rather be safe than sorry. So get a first aid kit for somebody who likes to be in the outdoors. The next thing I'm going to bring up has to do with feeding yourself. And dehydrated food is a pretty good gift. There's a lot of companies out there making dehydrated food now, and some of the meals are actually really, really good. Some of them that I've had, not so great, but you can just let them decide that and just get, 1 or 2 different, 2, 3, 4, whatever, however many you want to. Just get them a couple of different ones for their trips, and that way, hey, they've got some food if they really want to try and go that route rather than bringing food with them, preparing. If they're just kind of doing a backpacking trip and then want to go lightweight, dehydrated food, great way to go. I'm not going to spend too much time on that one. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is lights. I might have a problem when it comes to lights. I love new lights. I love different lights. I love trying all sorts of different things for lighting. When I first started getting into camping, I got the really cheap, like $1 little pop-up little LED lanterns. Suck. Great if you're just getting started and you have no money. Totally fine. But they don't do the greatest job as you get into it more and more. And so I have a couple of different lights that I really, really love that are very small and compact. One of which is this little bio light. I believe it's the Aspen Glow 500, I think is what it is. I'll put a picture of it up if I'm incorrect here, incorrect myself, but this little thing puts out a bunch of different colors. There's a bunch of different light modes and everything for these things. It also has a really cool thing where you can hang it up from the bottom of it right there. You can just hang it up. The ability to connect it to a couple others. I think you can link them. I've never done it, but I'm pretty sure there's a way to link them to other ones, and you can kind of put them in like a string of 2 or 3 of them, and you have a really good lighting system. So there's that. This is, like I said, this is one of my favorite lights. However, one of my other favorite lights is totally different form factor from this and kind of serves a different purpose. This is kind of like my, hey, set on a table, put off a lot of light somewhere, or hang up and put up a lot of light somewhere. Now this next one is kind of more for like when I'm cooking and whatnot, because I can put it over what it is that I'm cooking. And it is it's a roll-up light. The company is called Climate. It's the Everglow tube. And it literally, you can just, see it's got a little valve here to where you can blow it up, and in like 2 or 3 blows, this thing is blown up. You plug it in, it's got a USB here, you plug it into an external battery charger or whatever, and it powers your light. And the cool thing about it is the large one of the Everglow has magnets in the back of it. So the large and extra large have magnets in the back, and you can hang it up on something. So if you are overlanding and you have a vehicle, and in your back off the tailgate or whatever is where you cook your food, well, you can hang this up on the top part of your vehicle and just hang straight down over your food. So for me, this is really cool. Also, it comes in handy when you're working on your vehicle. So hey, your battery dies like earlier, you can pop the hood, pop this up on top of it because it's going to stick to your hood, magnetic, and shine your light down into your engine bay and help you work on it while you're in the dark. So just a couple cool different ways for lighting to happen. Makes a really good gift. It's pretty cheap too. So now the last thing on my list is kind of a wild card and specialty item. And it's it's solely for the coffee drinker in your life that also enjoys the outdoors, and it would be an AeroPress. These little things are absolutely wonderful for camping. If you really enjoy coffee and you are like me, you're kind of a coffee addict and you can't go a day without it, or 10 cups, that's besides the point. I love the AeroPress. It's lightweight. It's made of plastic. So you would think, hey, made of plastic, it's not very durable, it's not going to work very great. This thing is a beast, okay? So again, it's plastic, so it's lightweight. It packs down fairly small, and you can take it anywhere you want to go. And then you just, fill it up and just press it down. Oh my goodness, it makes such good coffee. Whoever invented that thing is a genius, but I love coffee, so for me, I always kind of have to throw in a coffee item for gifts. When people think, when I ask people what they want, what I want for Christmas, something is coffee related. So those are my Christmas gift ideas to get those people in your life that either already are involved in the outdoors or with this, with the hammock that you want to get them outdoor and they want to be more outdoorsy, just to get them out there and get them more involved. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. If I left out any gift ideas, please leave me a comment down below. Otherwise, make sure you like the video, subscribe. We would love to have you guys join and grow with us. So I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.